Thanksgiving begins a very special time of the year for us. It's the time of peace and reflection, and of getting ready for the new year. One thing we should all be thankful for is that we live in America, where we have the freedom to change things and the opportunity to...
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show, starring Big Blue.
Okay, can I say hi, Kim?
Hi. Oh, I love you. You are just like a giant.
Or improvisation.
Lady Liberty just squirted in my face. When you do drink with a straw, the myth is you get more drunk because you get more air mixed in.
Hi, Maggie.
Like, you know how the fans going like this? They go, ooh, yeah. When it hits my butthole. Last time I went to Mexico, I stopped by a little stand and the lady had gloves. I was like, lady, take off those gloves. I need that shit.
It wasn't.
I'm drinking beer so you can feel good and like it tastes good. What the hell's the point of this?
And Daniel J.
I got a friend named Jonathan Martinez who's not allowed in the library. Yo puede hablar español cuando yo te mando. You look very handsome tonight, LJ.
Every day. It's an everyday thing. I gotta
wake up and piss his excellence.
Y'all watch them every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I get to see them every day. I get to see that. They get to see those cheeks every day. And what's on his face?
And the other ones.
3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. I'm your host, Daniel J. And alongside with me is Big Blue, and Jaime is beaming in. How you guys? How you doing, Big Blue? How you doing that?
All I gotta say is CV19. F it.
Are you over it?
Man, I'm feeling a lot better now.
That's good, dude. That's good. Glad to hear. Welcome. This is the first battle with C19, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club.
I'm a 4-time champion.
I believe I've had it just once that I can say that I tested positive for it, and then after that I don't think I have. I think I've been around folks that have had it, but didn't have it. So today we're doing our Friday show, which, as we've been doing, is the first part is open to everybody. However, about halfway through, it turns into the members only, and every now and then on the live we'll give away something. Today, for our members list, at the second half to be in there, we're giving away the red edition Drunk Turkey Show beanie. This is the Jaime edition. Nobody's gonna answer. Once worn. But yeah, we'll be giving that away in the second half of the show to a member. So if you guys are interested in being a member, just hit that join button. If not, in the description, it'll say, I think the first line says to join. Click this link, and that's how you become a member. And you'll be possibly entered into getting a chance to win this. You have to be on the live later on, so don't go anywhere. Well, guys, there's been a lot of news broken down since the last time we spoke when it comes to Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho 4 case. First and foremost, we had possibility that some ID, that some sources came forward saying that they found an ID from one of the victims, possibly from one of the victims from the Moscow residence in Kohberger's residence. I broke that video down yesterday, or we went live yesterday about that and talked about that. Jaime, what are your thoughts first and foremost? If it is an ID card from one of the victims in the house or one of the persons from the house, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is a smoking gun? You think this is it, nailed to the wall? He's going to get convicted?
Maybe not smoking gun. I think still the DNA evidence is a lot more, right? But I do feel like you said. Like, I felt kind of confused when they were saying in the affidavit that they found the IDs inside of a box. I don't know if it was like a box with the glove and IDs, or the IDs were inside the glove, or how was that? What was that about?
It sounded like it was a glove, and inside of the glove were the IDs, and both the glove containing the IDs were inside of a box.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, if he was in there and he grabbed that ID, which I doubt it, because there's not a lot of time, right? If he did this, that might be proof that he might have been already in that house.
That's true. That he may have stole it while possibly in the house while nobody was there.
Yeah.
Big Blue, what are your thoughts about the ID?
Well, I think if it is true that he had him, like Hyman said, he probably was in there before stalking, because he had to know what room they were in,
Right.
and and it was hard for me to understand that nobody heard him breaking in or anything. So maybe he was already there. Well, he wasn't there. We have proof that he was driving around, but he was already there before another day, trying to figure out where everybody stays, if it's a plan.
Right.
Kind of deal if there's the IDs, or he picked it up right when he was leaving.
So you guys think that one of the 12 times that he was pinged in the area, he may have been inside the house?
I feel like that would have been the case. Like I said, I don't think he had enough time between committing the crime and looking for the either whichever ID he found. You know what I mean? I don't think he would have done that at the same time. I think he went in there with the mindset of doing the crime and then bolting out.
See, but my theory was okay, he would have to rifle through somebody's wallet to get an ID, but the girls were out drinking, so they probably already had it out from being at the bar.
Yeah,
right. And maybe they just left it on the counter when they came back in, so it's an easy pickup if it was on the counter.
Yeah, right. Especially because I don't think I saw anybody. I didn't see the girls with the purse, did I? I think they just had a phone, and they probably put the ID in the back pocket or something like that. Right?
I think they did have a purse. But also, this was it was the last. It was homecoming or I don't know if they call it homecoming in college or not, but it was the last home game for the Vandals, right? So I assume maybe perhaps they had their college IDs with them because maybe they get some sort of discount at the local bars, that night for being college students or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so that could be a reason why it was somewhere reachable. My thought is maybe perhaps, and it goes to, I think that ID is probably going to be, if it is, right? Let's just say it is, right? Yeah. We don't know. But let's just say it is. If it is, it's probably going to be Madison's. And the reason being, I think that he spent the most time in that room. I think he went in there, he spent time. I think he was going through things. I think he may have heard something. And what he may have heard was possibly the dog. I think he then went over there towards Kaylee's room, opened the door, sees the dog. The dog begins to start to bark. Yeah. 4:17, voice comes out saying, "I think somebody's in the house." Kohberger then goes down and, goes to Ethan and Xana's room. And so I think that's a possibility. And I think that, when it comes to the dog barking at 4:17 from the Ring camera, so we have that timestamp from there, right? Yeah. And we also have the vehicle leaving at 4:20. So that's a real short period of time. Yeah. My assumption is, if that dog is barking because he entered that room after committing the crime that he committed with Kaylee and Madison in Madison's room, then he's out of that building and took the life of Ethan and Xana within 3 minutes. Right? Yeah. And I'm thinking he probably intended on staying there longer with them as well. I think Dylan did come out and yell out something like, "Quiet down, keep it down," whatever. I think in that moment, and this is all speculation, by the way, I think in that moment, he had tunnel vision, focusing in, right, on the situation at hand. Somebody yells. Maybe he didn't understand or make out what was yelled, just heard that somebody yelled and booked it. Time to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he left her alive. Yeah. But that's the only logical reasoning that I could possibly have for him having IDs in that short period of a time. Now, the fact that, let's just say he does have that ID, does that automatically mean he's guilty, or can you guys come up with an example or a reason why he would have one of their IDs and he not be the guy that committed this crime.
It won't prove him guilty, but it'll put him in a really bad spot. You know what I mean?
Right. 100%.
I know from what we read from the affidavit, I know that it probably isn't Xana's ID because I think they mentioned her ID on one of the affidavits.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can eliminate that ID. So it could be. I know it's not Ethan's neither, right? I don't think so.
We wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
I would assume it'd have to be somebody. And he's also, if he's in Madison's room the longest, I would assume that maybe perhaps it was Madison's, being that it was somewhere in the room. Blue, do you have an idea or a thought or reason why, or possibly an excuse for Kohberger having the ID and it not be him?
No, because he didn't attend the same school, and I mean he probably went to town here once in a while to go eat, maybe. But I don't know why he wouldn't have their ID, and so it's a hard one to figure out. Just as like, even if they lost it down the street, he doesn't live nowhere near them. Like, would he be walking or jogging?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, there's no reason, and the only reason it could be is if he was stalking them from a while. Whoever's idea it is, he was stalking them, and he was inside the house at some other point, especially because they had a lot of parties. Maybe he was part of that group of a party, and he ended up getting that from them. But I mean, it had to be that night, right? If it was one of those girls' ID, it had to be one that night because I'm pretty sure they will ID him at the bar.
Right. Right. And if it was a college ID, like we said, they would probably be putting that ID forward. Thank you so much, Miss Doglover, with your $4.99 super chat. Says he scares me. Dead behind the eyes, capable of anything, in my opinion. He does have some chilling eyes, Kohberger, that is. It's one of those things where, like I told you guys before, my father, he didn't follow this case or anything. And right after his arrest, we were in Pennsylvania ourselves. I showed him a picture of the guy, and he's like, man, that's what I would picture somebody doing this crime would look like. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it had a lot to do with that stare in his eyes that he has. It's very, very cold. The only thing that I can think of, just kind of rummaging through ideas, is that perhaps he can say that maybe he found the ID somewhere, but he's going to have to kind of come up with some type of evidence as to where he may have found it. But he can say, oh, I found it, I wanted to turn it in, but it looked suspicious, or whatever the case may be. But that's the only thing, and I don't think it's very believable for him to say that he found it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's it called? If he did take it that night, we know how much damage it did to the victims. That ID should have some sort of DNA on it, right?
I would assume so. He would have had to have grabbed it and, made contact with his hand, even if he had a glove on it. That glove, was what was exposed to the splatter from the crime that was committed. So you would assume that would have transferred on there. What do you think if it is it, right? And we went through the search warrants, and it appears, though, that it's probably from the Pennsylvania search. So Kohberger was aware that he left the sheath behind because that information, I believe, that information was already out by the time that he had taken off, that there, or at least it was speculated that a sheath was left behind. He would have known that he left the sheath behind had he committed the crime. What do you think about him taking pieces of evidence across country with him that would have tied him back to the crime? Is that something that you seem, the case seems kind of stupid to do?
Well, I guess that for him, it would have been either a trophy or some sign or a memento, you know what I mean? Or it could be the trophy, could be the ID, or the memento could be the glove, or you know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Right.
If he was planning on doing more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I just find it odd because I would have thought, especially somebody who's a PhD major in criminology. All right, they got a sheath, right? Is it possible they can trace it back to him or not? Who knows? If that's the only link that he has to Kohberger in the house. Now, he may not know that he left his DNA on it. He may have thought that he cleaned it up, wiped it up, whatever the case may be, right? But he knows that he left that sheath behind. And if they can somehow tie it back to him, if they find this ID card on him, he's toast. He's done. I would understand, keeping a trophy or a memento or whatever. Yeah. If you didn't leave anything behind. But this guy obviously would have known he left the sheath behind.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it just kind of seems kind of weird and stupid for him to do this. Now, it says ID cards. Now, I'll be honest. I saw it pretty weird that it was just ID cards. In my opinion, if it was some sort of evidence of importance on that evidence receipt, it would have been itemized on its own. ID card from so-and-so versus just generic ID cards. Because I think a defense attorney can go back and say, this says only ID cards. This doesn't say ID cards from Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves. You get what I'm saying? Do you guys see that being an issue?
Well, when it comes down to I remember reading the inventory, and I remember seeing that they even counted the change. You remember that? Right. But then again, when they mentioned the shovel, they put shovels as shovels, like meaning there's more than one. Which why wouldn't they put, 2 shovels or 3 shovels? But yet they put all the change they found. It just
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it kind of throws everything off.
Because sometimes with police departments, the money has gone missing before. They have to be like really specific.
But change.
Right. I don't know.
We're talking about quarters and pennies and nickels. And
I understand what you're saying there, Blue, and you're absolutely right. But you would also assume that they would be specific if they found something of importance, like one of the victim's ID cards.
Yeah, very.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not just unless you're trying to hide that there was multiple ID cards from multiple people from possibly different offenses, right? Perhaps you're seeing something here like, oh snap. We have a possible SK here, right? And we have an ID card from somebody who went missing or somebody who is their life has been taken from this college here in Pennsylvania or this college there in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or wherever, right? Maybe they don't want to have it itemized because they don't want to disclose that they're on to that, possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the guy's in custody, so why does it matter?
Right. Yeah. Going back to the fact that, like you said, he forgot the sheet at the residence, and then if he was a PhD in criminology, you would think he would get rid of the rest of his evidence, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
So, like, it makes me feel like this could have been his first. If it's him, it could have been his first time doing something like this.
Right. Well, I for one think that there might be a possibility that he's done this prior, just hasn't gotten caught. I went through the police affidavit, right, and I know a lot of folks say there's a lot there. Moscow Police Department did a great job. The FBI did a great job, probably going through and combing through multiple people and multiple suspects to find this guy. Yeah. And we're able to find this dude. I see the pattern and the process in which they went through to catch this dude. Right. Why are you guys trusting?
NewsNation, right?
Oh, NewsNation. Yeah.
Right.
We really don't trust
anybody. Because we don't even trust the Washington Post. Let's just put it out there today.
Yeah. Well, that was a couple of days ago, but yeah, I don't trust any news, regardless if it's from NewsNation to Fox News to CNN. What we try to do is we try to get a full spectrum of information. We understand that each news coverage is probably biased for whatever reason from one direction to another. Yet, for the most part, you're going to find some of the truth. And when you can look at both ends of the spectrum, then you can kind of make your own judgment of where the truth is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we got a few things that came out that I want to talk about when it comes to Kohberger possibly being an SK, and if he's had any crimes out there that were prior, that match his motive or MO, right? That would fit the crime, so to speak. But before we start, I want to tell everybody, please hit the like and subscribe button and ring that notification bell if you haven't, guys. We got like 676 of you guys in here already. Let's hit that like button. Let's get this going. Let's get the algorithm kicking in. Last night, my impromptu live that got limited too, so let's get this going with the algorithm so that way
it was the WP, man. It's the WP's after us. It was oh,
I know, man. They even put it in their article that they try to get as limited, those jerks.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget the beanie.
Oh yeah, guys, if you guys didn't check it out, Fridays we do a members only about halfway through on the chat side, and so you'll still be able to watch if you don't want to become a member, and we don't expect everybody to, and we appreciate those that do become a member, but on the chat side we do members only, where they'll be able to chat and they'll be able to participate in a giveaway. But we'll be giving away the red edition Drunk Turkey Show beanie tonight to a member. And so let's watch this real quick. I want to break down some of what they're saying and then give us our commentary. What do you got, Jaime?
I tried on that beanie, and if it's awesome, but whoever wins it and they find one of my hairs, don't clone me. Don't clone me, please. I had enough with this life.
I don't think you'll be in control of that one, but imagine if they don't. It's 1/8 your size. That's the mini me. Let's check this video out, y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Please elaborate. What is this latest news that authorities are interested in Kohberger potentially having been involved in murders, I would gather, previous to what happened in Idaho?
Yeah, previous to what happened in Idaho, we don't have a ton of detail, but we have confirmed that they are looking into Kohberger for at least 2 murders that happened in Pennsylvania. We don't know if they've, made significant headway in connecting him to those homicides. We just know that they were and are possibly still looking into a possible connection.
And refresh our memories.
All right. First and foremost, do you guys think that this is new news, so to speak, or do you guys think that this is possibly these guys bringing up old stuff? We'll start off with you, Big Blue.
I want to say it's new news because you can see when they say some of the stuff, they're pretty surprised. I can see it in one of the guy on the left's face, like he's surprised about what he's hearing. I guess the first time he's heard it.
What about you, Jaime? What do you think?
I know there's on the gag order, so I think it might be new. I think something got out, and I know they mentioned it in the beginning that they had those IDs, but they didn't mention now that they hear that's might be connected to one of the victims. I feel like it's new. They didn't know that.
So I'm skeptical. I'm always different from everybody. I'm skeptical, and this is one of the reasons why. So he said that they were looking at possibly 2, right? They brought out two incidents prior to them, the Idaho incident. So this is from King5.com, NBC News affiliate. Authorities in at least 2 Pennsylvania counties where Bryan Kohberger went to college have made no connection to cold cases. And so this brings out the word 2, right? So this says authorities in at least 2 Pennsylvania counties where Bryan Kohberger attended college. And this is from February 7th. Attended college have searched their cold case files looking for links that could connect those cases to the suspect in Idaho in the college Idaho murders. Your natural question is to start wondering, is this guy wanted? Said Northampton County District Attorney, who ordered his staff to research whether Kohberger could have ties to any unsolved cases in his jurisdiction. Is his name out there? Do we do anything? Did he do anything in my county? And so they looked at 2 different counties, and they were talking about them looking into possible cold case of, maybe he's affiliated with this, right? Connections.
Yeah.
At the point of when this was done, they hadn't had any connection out there. Do you think they're just recycling this?
Yeah, because they did the same thing with Richard Allen. Remember, there was a elderly couple that got, I think they were murdered in their sleep or something, and it was like 4 hours away from where he lives, and they're like, "What? We're investigating Richard Allen for this because same kind of, I guess,
same MO,
yeah, same MO." So I was like, but it was like a couple years apart, and it was like way different. So I was like, but yeah, they'll investigate him for different cases if they're close to him. So
yeah.
I don't disagree with you that they're going to be investigating him for different cases and stuff like that. I just felt like, there might not be that much news going on, and so they're recycling it. However, are there cases out there that possibly you would think that maybe Kohberger could be involved in? And so what I did was I started doing some digging. I had a bunch of you guys send me this case here. And I'll kind of go through the details. Apparently, I think it's a True Crime Time. I did a video on YouTube here about this case, connecting possibly some similarities between Kohberger and this case here. And so we'll go into it. This is Irma Kaler, 83. First and foremost, 83 years old. That's different from what was going on. But I think that when you have somebody that's committing this type of crime, and not so much for like love, revenge, hate, things of that nature, if it's like for the thrill of doing it, they're probably going to start off with a smaller prey. You know what I'm saying? Smaller subject, so to speak, and an easier subject to overpower and whatnot. So the fact that this person is much older than what the victims are doesn't exclude that it could have been Brian right off the bat for me. Also, this was several years ago. This was in, I believe, like 2012 or whatnot. So Kohberger was about 18 years old. So this could have been where he started. Irma Kaler, 83, was stabbed and her life was gone in her Lancaster home 10 years ago. To date, there is no known motive for the attack and no suspect. Barbara talks to the family, which they're sharing their story for the first time ever. Barbara also talks to the lead homicide investigator, and they learn where things stand. So let's see all right, here it is. Irma Kaler lived in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath home at 1235 West Vine Street in Lancaster. She had lived there for about half her life. On May 16, 2012, at around 9 a.m., a neighbor who walked Irma's dog walked into her residence and found her body. That person called the police, and a decade-long investigation began. Investigators think that Irma was attacked on her living room sofa. Her body was found in the kitchen. She had cuts to her neck and had been stabbed numerous times. Investigators found bloody footprints, but there was no signs of forced entry. The murder weapon was never found. 1 year after the homicide, the new resident in Irma Kaler's home allowed WGLA inside. That story from 2013 is posted in entirety and available below. And so somebody made entry, used a knife, multiple stabs with no motive, no reasoning. And they still have, it says here, nearly 4 years after the murders, Lancaster police released a video of what they describe a person of interest. Police say they have received information that the person may have been seen around Irma's building on the night of the homicide. You can see the video in the police release in the player below. Let's check it out. I haven't seen this.
Not sponsored by them.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Kohberger's right off the bat. But.
Yeah, the eyebrows don't match.
The eyebrows don't match. Yeah, so I'm not sure, but so yeah, if you have any tips in this case here, call Lancaster County Crime Stoppers at 800-322-1913. So possible this is not too far from where Kohberger lived in what do you call it? In Altsbright, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think, first and foremost? What is your first opinions or thoughts on? Do you think that this is does this fit Kohberger? Do you think it could be him?
I mean, there's a lot of cases that would fit him, and it's not remotely close to where he lives. Just like, unfortunately, there's bad people out there that do bad things, and sometimes, one case might look exactly like the other one, but sometimes it's not. It has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? I don't think, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Kohberger has done it before. If he's the one who killed, these the people in Idaho, the kids in Idaho, then I don't think he's done it before. I think this was his first time.
You think it was his first time? What about you, Big Blue? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he'd be 18 at that time, so he was still going through like drug issues, right? So it's a possibility, but for him not to make a mistake for the first time, with no motive, I don't even know how far that is from where he was at and where he was at. So I wanted to investigate, so I can't speculate either.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'm more look. I will change my mind if and only if I can find more to his background as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he has tendencies, certain things. I mean, you could bring up was it the McDonald triad? If he has the tendencies of arson, animal cruelty, and bedwetting. That's the things that SKs usually share, in common.
Right.
And if or even head injuries, man. Head injuries can, mess up your brain and whatnot, and it can take away the sense of sympathy and the consciousness, the guilty conscience and whatnot.
For sure.
That's what I want to know. If that's the case, if we find out more about his childhood or how he grew up and whatnot, then I can be like, okay, if he had those tendencies from the beginning, then you can actually,
Well, he talks about how he had that visual snow thing and that he was medicated on this and that when he was younger, and that he lost the sensation of feelings and emotion and empathy and sympathy and things of that nature. And he talked about those things that he didn't have, didn't have feelings. That kind of led to me that when sometimes, in my opinion, I think people who commit crimes like this for the thrill of it is because they don't get those emotions unless they're committing crimes like this.
Well, most of the times that SKs do this is to satisfy an urge, you know what I mean, whether it be sexual or not.
Right. So
like there has to be somewhat of emotions or sensation in it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think he was vegan back then.
Yeah, so his vegan stuff came because of the apparently it was helping him with his visual snow. It wasn't so much because his love of animals. Now, this is Lancaster down here, and this is where he lived up here. I'll measure it out real quick and see where, more or less. Let me change that from feet to miles. Give us an idea right here. We can go straight here and then straight up. It's about 115 miles, probably about 130 when you have to travel through roads and things of that nature. As the crow flies, it is about 80 miles, but traveling, that's just going on a straight line. So this area is not too far. Maybe. Let's look at another case. So this one was also around the same time. There's still no sign of Courtney Stouffer 10 years after her disappearance. So let's look at the how much
yeah, you're breaking up.
Am I know it is.
I think he had to leave and come back in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you? What
There
about
you go.
now?
Yeah, you're better.
All right. Yeah, it's because I opened up the Google Earth thing, and it was. I noticed when I opened it that I was lagging and stuff.
Playing
All right,
musical chairs.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
All
if you look at it this way, like in the case with the 83-year-old woman, right? And let's say
Right.
this one, right? They haven't found this person. If you
Right.
say what, and he made no mistakes in those two, but this one he made a crap show. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it could have been a lot of things. You know, I mean, you mess up until you mess up. You know what I mean? You don't mess up until you do, is what I mean. And so he may have gotten things right, and or also, I mean, you're looking at 10 years ago, technology with phones and things of that nature probably weren't what they are now.
Yeah.
And so, you know, also probably analyzing data and evidence probably weren't what they are now as well. And so,
But still, I mean, he's a PhD in criminology.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right. No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, when you look at it though, like had he not left the knife sheath, let's just say, had he not done that, I don't think they arrest him. I don't think they have anything to arrest. They don't have enough to arrest him. And if he hadn't left the knife sheath, yeah, I don't think they. I think they have a hard time ever putting a strong enough case against them.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's DNA, more solid DNA instead of the touch DNA.
Right. If there's DNA outside of that, then yeah, possibly. But if there was no DNA at this crime and the only thing that they had was his knife sheath, then that one simple mistake is what did him in. Because without that, I don't think they have enough to arrest him. Now, would they look at him? I think they do have enough to find him, to suspect him.
Yeah.
You know, you have the vehicle. You have the video surveillance of the white vehicle in Pullman, leave Pullman prior to the incident happening, and then return about an hour after the incident occurred. And so that gives you an idea that the actor was at least traveling through and from Pullman, Washington.
Yeah.
And you got to, you know, you find his height and weight, and you find out that, you know, you get the historical, or not the story, you got the cell tower data. You got his cell phone number, so you figure out that he turned his phone off during that time. So you can figure out, you know, a lot of things. You know, you find out the phone pings. But I think that's where it stops. You know, and this becomes a cold case. You know, you don't have that DNA. It doesn't matter, you know, what he's doing with his trash, or if you pick up his trash and you find DNA, if there's nothing to compare it to, like no sheath, this guy's walking. And so, you know, I think it was that one simple mistake out of everything, because even leaving we have somebody. I see it right here. Thank you, Carmela Cole, for gifting 5 Drunk Turkey Show memberships.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And so 5 of you guys will be getting some free memberships.
Hell yeah.
And so I don't think they have much, but let's get into this case. Let's see. It says in 2012, so this is again while Kohberger's 18, she, which is Stouffer, decided to move in with her boyfriend in an apartment on Main Street in Palomar. And it granted her independence, parties, drinking, no curfew. Court was sort of an angel. She was a kid growing up, 21. On the night of July 29, 2012, a neighbor alerted a probation about an underage drinking party at Courtney's apartment. Her boyfriend, who was on probation and underage, was taken into custody. They made it seem like he was never coming back. He was like going away for 5 years, and that really drove my daughter a little frantic. Her father said. A detective later said that night Courtney met 2 male friends at a bar in Humungston, Dauphin County. From there, they met up with another couple and drove to Harrisburg, where Courtney got into an argument with a woman and was asked to leave a bar. They left the bar, came out, collected Courtney, and made their way back towards Palmyra. He said one of Courtney's male friends came back to her apartment. Police responded to 2 911 calls at her home. The first was at 3:12 a.m. after Courtney got into an argument with neighbors because she thought they called the police earlier about the underage drinking party. When police arrived, one neighbor reported Courtney kicked him in the leg. The responding officer said that they had all been drinking and they should return to their homes. At 4:11, there was another 911 call from a neighbor saying Courtney was screaming, stomping on the floor, and making threats. Whether it's stomping on the floor or whether it was a struggle, I don't know. Courtney's sister said that what happened after that is a mystery. I think in that time frame was when something seriously bad happened. Christine said, which is Courtney's sister, police arrived by 4:31 and said they knocked on the door. No one answered. They could see inside and didn't notice anything unusual, only hearing a dog barking. Similar to what's going on over there. 5 minutes later, police left. Police said the friend who stayed with her claims he left shortly before 8 a.m. and that Courtney was no longer there. He sent her multiple texts asking what happened to her. First red flag for the Stouffers was that Courtney didn't show up to meet her brother at the Lebanon County Farm Show. I think he realized there was something foul going on when she didn't call him. Her father said. Police said there is no sign of foul play inside the apartment, but that she left her keys, cell phone, purse, and shoes. Her car remained outside. This was kind of when we really realized this just wasn't a walk away, that she's going to turn up, Scott Stouffer said. Community came together and searched for Courtney. 11 days after she was last seen, forensic teams searched Courtney and the neighbor's residence along with some vehicles. Tips came in regarding Courtney whereabouts. It's like finding a needle in a haystack at this point in time. One tip was a claim from Courtney's friend in 2014 that she was wrapped in a carpet and dumped in a memorial lake. The lake was searched, but nothing was found. It's been 10 years and we still have nothing. We're not a step closer to finding her. So just really painful to go through on this basis. We need closure. If she's still alive, just let us know. We'll figure it out. And so, young lady, around the same time, 4:30 in the morning, dog barking, goes missing, was out at a bar in a couple of different places in Pennsylvania. Kohberger's been at a couple of bars. He talked, there was at least one occasion where he was kicked out of a bar where he was asking ladies where they lived. Maybe that's a habit that he has had, that he's done since, he was younger. What do you guys think about this case? Do you guys see that there could be a Kohberger connection here?
It's similar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, he would have had to take in this girl without anybody seeing or hearing or, picking them up on door cams and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, nobody saw her. Nobody.
And his also his phone.
Right.
I don't know. Just like I said before, like, man, there's plenty of cold cases out there that's, they probably won't even solve them. Unfortunately, for like the next 20 years, man. There's cases being solved right now from like the late 60s.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I thought that one was a case that sparked, a little bit interesting. Kind of maybe perhaps was a Kohberger. If and this is all allegedly, Kohberger's not even guilty of the crime in Moscow yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, he's still innocent until proven guilty. And so everything that we're saying is, allegedly. And if he did commit this crime, are there crimes in Pennsylvania that could match Kohberger in some form or fashion? There's this case here where a man's body was found on Walnut Street apartment on January 7, 2013. So let's go back. So this is on January 7th. This is a 59-year-old Alan Wayne Hess. Hess was discovered face down in a pool of blood on the first floor unit of 248 West Walnut Street. His death was ruled a homicide and was caused by a sharp force trauma. Investigators said that Hess recently had been living with a resident of the apartment for a short time. Police said they have located the tenant, who they have not identified and have spoken with him. They said he's being cooperative and that his whereabouts have been accounted for during the critical time period. Hess might have been deceased for a week to 10 days before his body was discovered. Authorities have declined the details of Hess's injuries. They also declined to say what kind of weapon was used or if one had been recovered. Police are looking for information about Hess's activities or whereabouts prior to him being killed. They asked for information. Contact 735-3300, Lancaster City Crime Stoppers. And so this guy was just another guy that was stabbed. Somebody entered his house and killed him while he sat in his chair. Yeah, in the area. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, I got to do some changes.
Oh, Beanie giveaway time?
Not yet, but it is time for members only live chat. So only members will be able to communicate in the live chat, y'all. We appreciate all you members. And if you guys haven't done so, if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button, we'd really appreciate that.
And we appreciate all the new members tonight. I saw at least 3 or 4. So thank you guys.
And then 5 were gifted. We appreciate that. And real quick, the poll question that we put in earlier, just to give you guys an update. And the question was, do you think, if guilty, Kohberger has taken the life of another person before Moscow, Idaho? 71% of you guys say yes. 29% of you guys say no. 589 votes so far. Keep them coming in. All right, let's go into this last one that I found that I thought maybe could be Kohberger too. Let's see. This one says, "Oh, and happy Easter to everybody. We appreciate y'all, and thank you, Richard, for being a new member."
Welcome.
Richard.
So, intruders remain at large 1 year after killing man, shooting father in home evasion. Police. All right, so this was that's when it was updated. So September 2014, Brett Simmons, 23, was killed in his Clay Township home in September 2014. So Kohberger would have been about 20 years old at the time. Nearly 1 year ago, a 23-year-old Clay Township man was killed by a pair of masked intruders. All right, at least 160 people have been interviewed as part of the investigation into Brett J. Simmons' shooting death. Some have been cleared while others remain under investigation. Watch as part of the ongoing investigation. In the end, the intruders remain at large. So let's go through what happened. Let me try to find that. The Simmons family was home in their Clearview Road residence when investigators said intruders entered through an unlocked door on September 25th, 2014. Investigators believe drugs played a role in the crime and that a robbery was a potential motive. And so this was a time that I suspect that potentially maybe Kohberger was involved with narcotics still. And maybe this is what this could have been. Also, this is a shooting, not a stabbing. But if we remember in the Pennsylvania search warrant, they recovered several handguns or several guns from Kohberger. So possible. That's the angle that I was looking at, right? Only family as witness and no close neighbors on the rural street. Detectives, this is also a rural area, rural street. So detectives have been left to piece together different timelines of events. Brett was found fatally shot in his bedroom after his father. James said that he had heard a commotion coming from his son's room. James said that he first thought it was Brett's older brothers fighting, but he found his younger son wounded on the floor. When he went to check the noise, James told police he found 2 men in the room who were wearing some sort of clothing to hide their faces. James was shot in the chest during the struggle with the intruders. Another shot just missed him. The intruders ran down the stairs. Blake, one of Brett's brothers, told police he hit one of them with a lava lamp before they left the home. And maybe that's what caused that broken nose that he has. Investigators described the suspects as light-skinned, young adult males between 5'9" and 5'11" inches tall, of average build. Both were wearing masks during the shooting, according to investigators. Investigators are continuing to track tips in the case. And so, yeah, that's basically it. This same area, North Lancaster County. So, hour and a half, 2 hours away from where he was at. What do you guys think? You guys think another one that possibly could have some sort of connection? Or I think if compared to the other ones, this one probably has the least possibility. What do you think, Jaime?
I agree with that. I don't know, man. It's like just saying that he used a gun and he owned a gun doesn't make him guilty of something. You know what I mean? Or conviction to it. You know.
There's also the drug aspect. That's the part I was looking at.
Well, there's a lot of drug dealers that have guns. So.
Right. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is definitely him. I'm just saying based on all the stuff that I could find during the time that he was there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more cold cases that were out there, but this is what I could find that could possibly, have some sort of connection. Not saying that any of these do connect. I highly doubt any of them do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But these were the ones that I was able to find that were somewhat in the area that had occurred at least within the last 12 years. So I went back to, he was about 16 and checked the area for unsolved crimes or disappearances that could be him, or had some scenarios that could possibly point towards Kohberger. Not saying that any of them are him. Not at all. And so,
I say I don't think this one has any closeness to it.
Not at all. Not even the drug aspect.
I don't know, man. Like at that age, I don't think he would have been that bold. But you never know.
So, at 28, he was pretty bold, man. He did some crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
that's what I don't get, man. Like, okay, let's say he did this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he did this before. If he was gonna make so many mistakes, he should have done the first one, not the third or fourth one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, it also points to this, like, that if this was his first one, I doubt he would have picked 4 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing about it, though. There wasn't one thing that makes this whole case really, really weird was a lack of somebody sounding like they were losing their life. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Dylan doesn't call the police, and if we were to believe that her story is 100% true, let's give her 100% benefit of the doubt, right? And then she didn't hear somebody getting their life taken. She heard what could have been just a loud gathering, right?
Yeah.
There's audio from the nearby house that only picks up whimpering, voices, and a loud thud. You have the time frame in which this happens with the amount of victims that are taken during that time frame.
Yeah.
All those things don't point to somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
Let me start calling these up. I want to say thank you, Leticia Guerra, for the $20 super chat. Happy Easter weekend, guys. This round's on me. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And then we got another $4.99 super sticker from Willow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Another thing that has somewhat of like holds water is the fact that most SKs they usually mess up either halfway through and they don't get caught, or they get like super cocky, man, and they start getting sloppy, and that's what I'm saying. So that could be the case on this one, that he could have done something before and didn't get caught, and now he's starting to get cocky and making mistakes and being sloppy and doing stuff behind, and that not being as clean and as stealth as the first couple of victims.
Right, and that brings up my point that I've had is, if his goal was to commit the perfect crime, that was the motive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was his first time, right? He had a hit and run accident that occurred right in front of his apartment complex that had cops covered all over the place. He goes over there to Pullman or to Moscow, and there's cops that up until about 3:16 a.m. have the 3 underage juveniles outside of the residence pulled over, giving them their citations. You have a vehicle that he's probably never seen before in Kaylee's new Land Rover, and a bunch of vehicles parked outside of that house. Those are a lot of obstacles and a lot of like probably unplanned obstacles in his way that I would think a first timer would probably get spooked off by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah, and then it also like, let's just say we're talking about the ID. Let's say he did stalk these people or stalk that certain victim, right?
Right.
And he knew about, like, how do you know that back sliding door will be open? He had to have a second, if he had to have like a second option, right, just in case it was closed. Like, how do you know that the mechanism on the sliding door was broken?
Here's the other thing: if he's going around to the back, do you think he looked into Dylan's bedroom window? That's the one with the screen down.
Yeah.
That you probably could see into. I mean, if he did that, then he would have had to have, I don't know where her bed is in that room, but if he would have looked into that window, he would have known that was a bedroom. And if he had a layout of the property and gone through all this research, right, to make sure that he had knew the layout of the property, he would have known that was a bedroom. And looking into it, he probably would have known that it was occupied by somebody. Maybe not at that moment, but that somebody occupies that room. I assume that you're going to see a dresser and things. It's not going to be an empty bedroom, right?
Yeah.
And so why pass that bedroom door so many times throughout the night? You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much, Terry, for your $19.99 super chat. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And a happy Easter to you and yours, and have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and happy Easter.
So that's kind of where I lie in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's just it's gonna get weirder and weirder, I think, as the days and the weeks go by until the trial comes up.
I agree, man. I agree. So
imagine if like they did find these IDs and like different people. That'd be crazy.
Dude, that would be nuts. And that would, I mean, if that ends up, let's just say that's the case, right? Let's just say they found these IDs and that Kohberger is this SK and that he's been doing this for the last 10 years or so, right? Moscow Police Department's gotten a lot of crap, right? And rightfully so. I'm not gonna say that they didn't deserve their fair share of shit that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? They have 2 guys on their department that were investigating this crime right off the bat that have questionable, possibly may have potentially lied on the stand or whatnot, right? Creating their credibility, putting their credibility in question. And so, despite all of that, within 7 weeks, they were able to catch this guy. And if he's got ID cards from prior victims, and this department did something that these other places weren't able to do to that point, and kudos to them.
Yeah.
But I think it's time, y'all.
SpaghettiOs.
So this is how we do this.
Jaime edition.
The Jaime edition, the big red. In the comment section, you need to put hashtag DTS. Everything has to be capitalized, y'all, and this is how you guys get entered. Now, once this thing pulls a name and we draw a winner, you will have to email us, and once we confirm your email address, we'll get your information, your shipping information, and send it out to you guys. So make sure you put hashtag DTS in the comment section, just like that. And it'll be your chance to win. So,
how many do we have last time? We had 40, right, for the tumbler.
40 for the tumbler, which went out already. Should be getting to Inanu. I want to say that's how you pronounce your name. I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. You should be getting that on Monday. Should be getting that on Monday
with stickers.
With stickers. You know what? I'm gonna be a gangster.
And a picture of Big Blue half naked.
Oh man, nobody's gonna. Everybody just started pulling out the remove comment.
he Winnie the Pooh. Definitely booked that thing.
Yeah. And so we'll let this go. We have 30 entries right now, so we'll get up above 40. We have 833 guys in here, and so which half?
It really doesn't matter which half. Both have.
It's good. It's vertically in half. It's vertically.
Yes.
It's not a horizontal half. But this is the red beanie again. Hashtag DTS Drunk Turkey Show. This is a good one. What's that?
How many do we got now?
We got 34 of you guys. Let's get 6 more entries.
What's it called? We're also. I was talking to Daniel about it. We're also like trying to make a little game every now and then for stickers. I'm giving out stickers. So we'll probably announce that later on.
Yes. It'll be
kind of a trivia, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be good. Let's see. We'll do this. We'll let everybody enter again. Members, hashtag DTS to enter. We'll give you guys another 2 minutes, and then we'll pick a winner. So Kohberger, I don't know, man. I think this guy's done, dude. I think he's done skis, especially with those cards, man. I think they got him.
Yeah, I believe so too, man. I think there's enough evidence there. I mean, they got him on camera, his car. I mean, there's a lot of things that point to him. But at the end of the day, it's just gonna be up to those the jurors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree, but I just feel that they're going to be able to present this case and put them. I don't know. I don't see a defense for the ID cards that's going to be able to stand up when you put all the other circumstantial evidence to it.
Well, if there's so much evidence against him, he might plead. You know what I mean?
That's true. And if he does, we'll never know the extent of it, man.
Yeah.
No. But we'll at least know that we'll have them. So can we buy stickers? Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. We have an area where you can buy like our shirts and stuff. We're trying to put the stickers on there, but we do have a way. We're figuring out the pricing on them, and it'll probably be through either Cash App or PayPal, and then we'll ship them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should be having those available. Probably we'll have an idea by next weekend or next Friday's show, which will be with Truth and Transparency. So make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed. You don't want to miss that show. Thank you so much for your $1.99 super.
Can we get 3 more, or that's it? That's all the numbers are in right now. 37.
That could be it, man. That could
be it. Okay. Well, should we do a countdown?
Let's do it. Let's do a countdown. Countdown from 5. Blue, count it down.
From 1800.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here it is. Let's see. Alice, congratulations. You are the winner of the red beanie. Please email us at drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. That way we can confirm and then get you your shipping information and have this beanie sent out to you. Congratulations. This
in the States. It has to be in the States.
Yeah. She's like, I'm in New Zealand. Oh, snap. It might take a month.
One of our members is in Canada, I saw. So I wonder
that shouldn't be a problem.
How much extra it is for Canada, but yes.
Yeah. Well,
scenario.
If she's in the States, that profile has to change. It's gonna have to be her wearing it.
It's gonna have to be what?
It's gonna be her profile, but she has to be wearing the beanie.
The beanie. You have to wear the beanie. All right, Blue. You can say that name.
Shazbada, right?
Shazza Banda. Sounds about right.
Shazza Banda. To the Three Musketeers, who do a fantastic job from the UK. God bless you and your families. Thank you, and God bless you as well. We appreciate you.
I'm sorry if I butchered your name. The name of your forefathers. I'm sorry.
Let's see. I'm going to check the inbox.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was checking too.
Let's see if we got that email in yet.
Alice. Oh, there it is. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, she commented, but you might have to tell her again to shoot us an email.
Yeah, can you shoot us an email, Alice? Central PA. Oh, nice. You're a Steelers fan. I also talk Steelers on State of the Steelers and Steel Curtain Network. Email us. I'm waiting for it so we can confirm, and then we can get your deal out there. It's drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com.
Happy Easter, buddy. Have a good weekend for Easter, guys.
Yeah. Happy Easter. I'm not sure if it's going to be next weekend. It might be next weekend. For the members, y'all. What we're going to be doing, or I'm not sure if it's going to be all three of us, or sometimes it might just be one of us, or two of us. But we're going to be doing a members live Q&A, where only members, not just the live chat, but that it'll be a live solely for the members. And we'll be doing that once or twice a month. I'm sorry. And so I think we're going to do the first one next month. So stay tuned to that. Keep becoming Browns fans. Welcome to the show. You're welcome to watch State of the Steelers. You may not like all the content that comes out there.
Browns, didn't they just lose their quarterback?
Oh no, she's a Titans fan. Who lost their quarterback?
Rerun it. Rerun the beanie.
Right. Alice, did you send? I know you're in the live chat. Did you send me your email? I just want to make sure that we got that before.
I haven't received anything.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm checking the spam real quick.
Oh yeah.
Kathy Chapin says, "Love your show. Thank you.
We appreciate that. All right. Yeah. Just hit us up with the email, drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. And no, there's no Steeler fans.
It's okay, guys. I'm a Bears fan.
So what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think Kohberger has done it before? You already know my answer.
I think there's a chance. I don't know, man. Because, let's just say he didn't, right? What's the motive for him to do it? It just so happened to be his first one, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if it just so happened to be his first one, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes and stuff. But what's the motive? Like, is it, a lot of people say he's an incel. A lot of people say that maybe perhaps one of the girls turned him down. Here's the thing, like, Kohberger, I don't know if women would have been attracted to him or not. If he was, could have talked to, if he had a silver tongue or not or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But if he didn't, don't you think there's probably a lot of women on the Tinder and Facebook and my chat or whatever you want to call those things?
MySpace? Were you gonna say MySpace, sir?
It was MySpace, all of it, dude. Don't you think that he's probably gotten turned down by other women as well?
Yeah.
What's the trigger point? What's the trigger? Thank you so much, Chelsea Empire FC, for your $4.99. Looks forward to being exonerated. What is his evidence? I believe he's guilty based off reports we read. It's either he's stupid or he might be innocent. I think it's probably the first one. I don't think he's innocent, y'all. I really don't, especially with these ID cards. See, I said it many times. I was like, it's going to, based on the information that we had at the time, that if they had something like blood, right, from one of the victims in the car, whether it's on the brake pedal, on the gas pedal, on the center console, whatever it may be, right? If they found something that he was Dunsky's. If they didn't, then I don't know about it. Well, they found something that possibly from one of the victims. It may not be DNA or blood. Who knows yet? We still don't know, right? They still could have that. At this point, we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still got the thought in my head that I was called an internet sleuth this week. So
You were what?
I was called an internet sleuth this week. So
Oh yeah, dude. On the Washington Post thing.
yeah.
If you guys haven't checked it out, I don't care. We haven't said it before, but we got bamboozled by the Washington Post. So we haven't said their name. We've kept it out the name, right? Yeah, Drunk Turkey email is drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. And so they came to us when we had about 15,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're doing an expose on content creators who are talking about the Idaho 4 incident and Bryan Kohberger's case. And so we're like, yeah, if you want to talk to us, we're more than happy to. So we're answering their questions, and then they started attacking us about Brett Kohberger, I'm sorry, and start telling us like, hey, isn't it y'all's responsibility to like control the rumors on him? And I'm like, well, one, like, we can't control what anybody else does. That's not our job, for the first and foremost. And two, at that point, we hadn't talked about him. And I found it kind of suspicious. So after we had done that interview, like the very next live, like there was 3 different people that were just going ham in the live chat about Bryan Kohberger.
Yeah.
And I thought it was suspicious. I thought it was them, the Washington Post, trying to entrap us to talk about him. What did you think when you saw it?
I thought the same thing because nobody was bringing it up until after that interview we did with them, and then it just kept popping up on our lives chats, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up.
Yeah, it was. I was like, man, these guys are trying to they're trying to entrap us into talking about this guy. At that point, we didn't know anything other than the fact that he was, just his life was taken by SWAT, right?
Yeah.
And so, to me, I honestly don't think that guy's involved. I know a lot of people say that maybe he is, or for those that think that Bryan Kohberger is getting set up, or they needed a fall guy. I think they could have found one very easily in Kohberger because he was no longer alive.
Yep.
And so that tells me that's not the case. Just my 2 cents on it, and I think that if they were going to try to find a fall guy, or if Kohberger did commit this crime,
we got the email.
We got the email.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Congratulations, Alice. Thank you so much. I see it. Got it. Got your email. We'll be sending that out to you this week. You should get it soon. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. Look, I wanted to show you my notebook that I write my stuff in. Not my diary or anything like that. Like the stuff for like our shows, I write it in this little thing there.
That's pretty neat, man.
Hey, the Golden Girls, man, it's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, man.
I love this show.
I hear you. You take that when you're out there looking for Bigfoot.
Sometimes.
It hides you. It's camo.
If you could be one of the Golden Girls, which one would you be?
I'll be Dorothy.
Which one's that one? I don't know who they are.
The tall one.
The tall one. Well, which one would you be, Blue?
I want to say the mom,
Sophia.
She's crazy as hell, man.
I really don't know much about it, but isn't Betty White on that one?
Yeah, that's Rose. Yeah,
I guess that would be me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I guess that one would be me.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's been a great show, guys. Do y'all have any like final words or comments before we let everybody go?
Well, I just want to say thanks, especially the members and the mods and everybody in the live chat. You guys, and hopefully we find out more about this case later on.
I think we will, man. I think there's going to be some more. Well, before we go, do you find anything weird about this information coming out with the gag order?
Not at all, man. Everything leaks.
That's true. Yeah. loose lips leak or something like that. I don't remember how it goes. What about you, Big Blue?
Okay.
About the last word or about the case?
Both.
Okay. I'll say this one first. Thank you, Gail, for the 550 super sticker.
Yeah.
And then about the case, I've heard rumors about an ID, but I guess they finally let it out. Somebody released it. I think the gag order, I was watching a couple of news reporters talk about it, and they were saying how the Gonzalez family, they were asking, I think you saw it in that report, when they were asking the family about the death penalty and if they thought that that's what he should get, or if some of the families would want to like not get it. And none of the families have been able to say anything because of the gag order, and I think that's kind of crazy that they can't even have the right to answer that question, to let out some of their anger if it is him. So,
right.
And the other thing is, I just want to say thank you everybody for being on here. Thank you all the members. COVID is a pain in the ass. It can go back where it came from, and
well, that just demonetized the whole show. Thank you so much.
I told you.
I kept it as nicely as I could keep it, but
Sounds good, man.
Well, with that being said, y'all, we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. If you're still watching, you're one of the 10% that watch all the way through. Please hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. If you're watching the replay, give us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the show. If you liked it, disliked it, let us know what we could do better, what we could do worse. We'll be back Monday night on the next live. We might do something this weekend. Who knows? But
just depends.
Like we always do. It's like the country song says, we tell you to quit drinking, but we don't want you listening to drunks. We're the Drunk Turkey Show, y'all.